Oh my god, you guys. Oh my god, it's a game. Hold on here. I'm actually casting some CSGO. Technically, as I am speaking over a game of CSGO. We're good. We actually can do this. I assume the sounds are heard. Of course, now they're complete silence. I was waiting to see if the sound balance was good. But yeah, and apparently we have this HUD, which if you don't like it, oh, tough luck, because we are not going to be able to change it. CSGO once again reminds me of a game that is both modern and you know, kept up with and super old. And it just confuses me to no end. But we're finally in here. This is actually my first cast of Counter-Strike. So oh, hold on 1 second. There we go. I shouldn't be blowing out anymore. For some reason, I also have to fix my Wave XLR. So this has been a fun day of like signing up to cast, waiting to see, you know, if I would be accepted, getting accepted like immediately, and then being like, huh, and then seeing the tweets that are like, it's starting today, and I'm like, oh shoot. I didn't expect that. Trying to learn a little bit more about CSGO, and then ultimately trying to get everything set up with the time that they allotted by actually like letting me into the correct channels, and then having no idea, you know, HUDs, consoles, correct discords, actually getting into a game that like apparently wasn't working initially. It's been a whole lot of fun. I did list myself on HLTV. I'm like super professional, except for the part which I'm not talking about the game at all. So we did start off, unfortunately, we're already into the series. This is a best of 3, by the way, guys. So this is just 1 of 3. I actually see that on this HUD, thank goodness. So apparently I'm going to be observing, unless I'm missing some observer that they might already have in game. I don't think so. I'm just going through the players so far, so I doubt that's the case. So the observing is going to be super A+. I'm sure we'll get all of the action. I actually need to probably go back into my console and reset the map size because I made that zoomed out for myself to learn the game, and now it's just really zoomed out, and I'm guessing it's not supposed to be that zoomed out, but I could be wrong. You guys let me know, and then if you could let me know how to fix it. That would be the best solution. Yeah, anyway, all right, so let's kind of get into the headspace here. So we do have Team BIG versus Team virtus.pro. So if you are coming in here from StarCraft, which I see most of you are, of course, then you know what BIG is actually, because we do have a player. Showtime is on Team BIG, Berlin International Gaming. 99% sure that's what it stands for. So actually a pretty big European team. This is the ESL CSGO Impact European League, which I don't know if this have a logo up. They didn't give me a guide for in-game, so let's just go with that. And this is like the first day of it. So they already did the qualifiers. Obviously, all these teams got here. A lot of the, I suppose, expected players got here through the qualifiers. And then we do have favorites for each game, which I can only tell you information about based off the very little information that I get, which is basically like the websites. And I was going to say that there's like betting. I can kind of tell you, literally, you know, bet lines are, but I think, okay, no, it actually does tell me, thank goodness. So VP is apparently favored. Most people are voting for them anyways. That's literally all the information I can give you, because otherwise I'm not really sure. I do watch CSGO casually, but I often do not watch the Impact League, right? So I definitely recognize the team names, not just from StarCraft, but from the, I guess the, it's not men league. It's just like, what's the word I'm looking for? Mixed, but there's, you know, men pretty much dominate there. And so big virtus.pro, when it comes to the women leagues, no idea. I guess co-ed is a word. I think mixed is usually what we say. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. So like I said, I'll probably look into getting that map size changed. Unfortunately, change in CSGO. Unfortunately, I was given a CL Raider scar. Radar scale. Nice English. This determines if the radar centers on the player 1 or not. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Is this something I can change in settings without having to go into the console? You know what? We'll just hold on with it for that. Want to go back to square one of your settings? When I set them all to the settings menu, you can list below. There we go. Okay, I'm not sure that really worked, actually. Unless this is actually the default size, and I'm the one that's crazy. Because, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. The icons are a little lower. A little smaller than I would expect. Because then there's retard, there's, like, I'm looking at the scale. I mean, I typed it in correctly, actually. It just, I guess I should make it actually smaller. Maybe I don't want the default. Isn't this interesting? People coming in from, StarCraft. Oh, maybe you just can't change it. Maybe because I'm a spectator. We're just gonna work with it. I'm pretty sure it's not always this zoomed out, though, as someone who, again, watches casually, but I'm going to do my damnedest to look at that tiny little 2 and tell you exactly what's going on. So let's actually try and cast the game. So BIG is obviously winning here. We do have them in a very strong position, actually, coming into this round. They are once again absolutely favored to win. Just looking at the guns, which are right there in front of you. Easy peasy. Bigger guns, better. America. But this is Europe, actually. But seriously, we know that the pistols aren't going to really work out super well, and we actually have that exactly happening here. So, the expected round win for BIG. EQUIPA. Wonder if that's German? I don't know. They are rich. They absolutely are, as you can tell from the score. They're doing pretty well. And when you do pretty well, you tend to get rich. Now, one of the things that a lot of CSGO players and community members and just a big discussion, basically, in CSGO is whether or not they should reduce, actually, the number of rounds in these tournaments. And one of the reasons that people don't want it to happen is because with the first to 15 or 16, there's a lot of comeback opportunity as opposed to, well, Valorant is the first to 13. So there's definitely been some people in favor of it, some not, but it definitely seems like this is a very one-sided game. This would be the opportunity for Virtus to actually get something done. The Angels, I guess I've heard of them, the EQUIPA and Angels. We'll go that way. And actually good guns. I'll see ops on either side as well, as I do try to actually use this mini-map, which is comically small. I was going to say, it stands for Berlin International Gaming, so... Didn't think they were Spanish. Not that I'm saying they can't just grab other people from other places, but... Anyway. Yeah, I could have done the math and gotten that confirmation of first to 16. Thanks, Steadfast, by the way, but I literally could have done the math. And I just, like... I guess I made sure not to as a caster. So a couple of trades so far, and actually this is looking promising for Virtus. They've got the guns, they've got a good position. I was going to say they should be able to plant. As you can see, 40-second detonation here. 3 versus 1. Aida coming in. Let's actually watch their perspective. Okay, coming in from the top, actually. And unfortunately, as far as the positions, the callouts on this map, you're going to get A site and B site. Nice. This is live on many other channels, but it is community casting only. So as far as finding those other channels, that's kind of up to you. Most I can suggest is HLTV. Unfortunately, the bomb will detonate, but I guess that is actually fortunate because we're kind of hoping for a bit of a closer game, which means that Virtus will actually get to the point on the board here as Aida just chooses to save. And there you have it. actually decent game. Yeah, hltv.org. If you go to the actual web, like the web page of this match, there's going to be community streams. So it's kind of like their TL, I guess. I mean, it really is. It's just obviously the overlay is different, and the interactivity as well is different. So, well, thank you very much, guys. Can I enable X-ray? Absolutely. And you can tell me exactly what to do. That's freaking perfect. Did I do it right? I think I did it right. I think I can see the X-ray. Oh, boom. Nice. Thank you very much. That's going to be helpful. Nice. No, thank you. It's very, very much appreciated if you just give me the line to input. That's absolutely huge. And then if you could just get a fix on the mini map, it would be absolutely perfect. It'd be totally pro, man. I mean, this actually isn't the overlay that they use in ESL, I think, but whatever, man. We're so totally pro. So anyways, we just had that round won by Virtus. Now we're coming into another round where we still have really even gun buys, right? Because Big was so rich from the earlier rounds. And we do look to have actually a lot of people filtering in here. Smoke's going down, obscuring actually their entry. And they're going to try and get a couple more angles around before they really start peeking out of those smokes. Well, a couple of jump peeks actually coming in here. And a couple going down, absolutely. Actually kind of holding the line right there. Nicely done from Aida. Ooh, kind of stuck though now, kind of stuck. And going to be jumped upon. Some good old-fashioned rushing forward. Hold that W key will do the trick. And actually, despite the intention to hold the line right there, not going to work out for BIG. Virtus takes another point on the board. Now we do actually have a little bit more of a conundrum. Well, not quite yet, actually. I was going to say, there shouldn't quite yet be a conundrum about gun buys, as their streak of wins was just rather well established, and they did have a lot of cash. But, you know, I think it's the next round, actually. They're going to be, some of them are going to be a little broke. And of course, virtus.pro still trying to kind of mount that comeback as well. Yes, I do, Denzori. Yes, 100%. And then the only thing that would be missing would be like the call-outs, man. I would love the call-outs. This is one of the many things I meant to do prior to actually going live, but as expected, actually, this is not a surprise to me. It just kind of sucks. There are so many things that I had to fix. So many things I had to fix and figure out. And the fact that I was kind of like, there's like some last second information didn't necessarily help, but that's the way it goes in a lot of these community casts. You are on your own for a large portion. But one of the things I wanted to do was actually get a map call out, because unfortunately, unlike Valorant, which, sorry guys, you're going to hear some comparisons to that because it's a game I'm more familiar with. You can't just bring up the map and look at at least the default call outs that Valorant has suggested. So, as I said, just like A and B site, man, let's just go. That's the headed somewhat to B through like these rafters, and it's good. You know, I mean, I did try changing them, but what I changed them to didn't really work out. Ooh, that's a little big. I guess I was more so thinking about the zoom more than anything else. Not so much the size of the minimap. That was my bad. That was miscommunication. So now we have a difficult situation. 4v3. Make that a 3v2. They could be splits. Virtus will pretty much desperately want to win this one, right? I mean, not just put a point on the board, but actually to break their opponent's bank a little bit, but it looks like it's not going to work out here. Tried to go for the plants, but Big was right behind them, and that is going to be it for this round, 7-3 in BIG's favor. CS, yeah, I think we're going to have a lot of mistaken SC and CS. It's pretty good. Oh, and a timeout, which makes sense. Virtus having a little bit of trouble. Not quite heading into the half, but I know there's a break for the tournaments, actually, and I'm wondering if that is literally... I mean, there's like a tiny one during the half, but I know there's also... Okay, so yeah. Oh, this is so well scheduled, actually. I mean, I don't really have to look at StarCraft broadcast guidelines, because, you know, Been doing it forever, but I'm pretty sure we don't have this much detail. This literally has TV breaks, halftime break, 3 to 3.5 minutes. Map break, 15 minutes. Match break, 25 minutes. It's very interesting. All right, let's see. Break over. Let's go. And this is the unfortunate part, right? Which they've lost their most recent rounds. They are pretty broken with these subpar guns. Sometimes running and gunning is the way to go. Not so much here, but, you know, it's kind of the plan a lot of the time. Trying to actually get up around these corners up nice and friendly so that someone might just walk into, again, these kind of subpar guns when they're taking long-range fights at this situation. They're trying to figure out what they can do here and then possibly, you know, formulating in a opinion on the actual buy round, shall we say, when they're actually able to afford things, you know. That's usually the way those timeouts work. It's not, you're not expecting very much here, but perhaps next time. Started off with a bang and has slowed down significantly. So they try to make it through. I mean, no utility for them. It's going to make this exceptionally difficult. And yeah, someone was waiting. Jenny R picking that up, and still plenty of members for BIG really to just hold all of their lanes. I guess I could make a Nightbot commands to put in the maps that are going to be played out. And perhaps, I don't know if you guys want the vetoes too. It's a super long list if you do that. I'm going to assume not. So I'll just try and tell you the maps. Here we go. I'm just going to copy paste this, actually. I'm lazy. Yeah. Yeah. So Nuke, Anubis, and then Ancients. So I guess we can put that in here. Nuke, Anubis, Ancient. There you go. I really do love that I don't think I installed an overlay. I think this might be the default one, but I really love that they actually have the names and the teams. Oh my goodness, it's so much better. Constantly comparing this to Valorant, and I gotta say, this is a win 100% for CSGO. Valorant apparently so closely guards their overlays that like basically have to get permission to use them. Isn't that a bit silly? It's a bit silly. So like I said, this is actually the point in which that strategy is probably going to come to fruition, whatever they were talking about in that timeout, because they actually have the guns and they managed to push through here. Actually could have some action. They're going to be able to plant the bomb. That's on B sites. This map has confused me in the few times that I've tried playing. Now the retake must come in. 4v5 situation. Show an overlay. You're asking a lot for me, honestly. Because we have a lot of trades going down. It's going to be crouch peek left over. And there's definitely not enough time to defuse. They're going to fake it and actually be able to grab one, and they're still going to go for the defuse. They do have a kit. 5 seconds is all it takes, and it's super quick in CSGO. My goodness, and that is actually very clutch. Nicely done. Okay, I totally counted them out. Dang. But that actually is really quite disappointing then for Virtus. Painful. Still able to buy up for this round, though. But yeah, sorry. I'm not sure where I would put that. I could be like, I guess underneath their name, maybe. Let's see. So this is virtus.pro's pick, and I could add a little text here. Map pick, maybe? Something like that? Maybe? Seems good. Seems like it's gonna work. Top right corner is where it usually is. Oh, I actually know exactly what you're referring to. I actually have that in my mind now, but that's all I have to do for now. Since we do have another actually like action-packed round. Doesn't seem to be going so well for Virtus though, as they are pretty much immediately all picked off. Man, you have to, they do not automatically change, do they? You actually have to press the button to change when someone dies. It's a real trial by fire. Again, for anyone who's coming in here and doesn't know me, I'm not a CSGO commentator. I'm a StarCraft commentator looking to get into some other games. And CSGO has always been one of my favorites to have in the background, you know, just watching casually. Really have a lot of respect for their commentators as well. I think they're some of the best in the business. And have been, you know, more familiar with tactical shooters in the last 2 years or so, but still very much not. So I'm just getting in here. I am literally learning everything. How to even get into broadcasting, how to set up HUDs, how to use the console. Still learning like the gun names, even the gun icons as well. Like I pretty, you know, I got my rifles, pistols, shotguns, snipers down, but in particular is not so much. And we're just going for hopefully some high octane action and some excitement. Which our previous round actually was quite exciting. This one not as much, despite attempts to try and make do with the situation. 1v5 or 1v4 was it? It's not very helpful. And now again, virtus.pro is pretty much broke. So I mean, they showed signs of life, didn't they? I mean, they actually started to bring it back, but the fact that they kind of made this plan when they were, you know, in their eco, and then when they actually bought up, they were so close to actually getting through, but they didn't. So they didn't actually win that round. I mean, I feel like it's really ruined any potential momentum that they would have built up based off of that timeout plan. And now it's kind of back to what we were, I don't know, 6 rounds ago, right? Which is that BIG in a dominating position, and Virtus going to try and get what they can from the eco. I assume, presumably, BIG will not be messing this up. I still haven't really determined if I think I'm just going to go off their overall team names, but that might be incorrect for me to do. I'm so familiar with BIG versus virtus.pro, you know, but maybe I should be saying EQUIPA versus Angels. Actually, some tussles happening in close range gave some promise to the old pistols, but not nearly enough. Only one taken down from EQUIPA. I'm going to try and change it up from EQUIPA, but you know, it's the way it is. And now going into the 15th round here. This would be before the swap. Usually, again, Valorant, that's like a huge, like, brrr! Before the swap, make sure you don't screw it up, losers. In CSGO, there's a lot less hand-holding, I'll tell you that much. And by the way, if anyone is just, like, cringing at everything that I'm trying to describe, and you're like, no, this is the way it should go, this is the way that should go, actually, feel free to tell me. In a nice way. But backseating for this particular broadcast, absolutely fine. An auto director thing does, like an auto spectate. Oh, it probably is. How would I turn that on, though? As, again, Virtus not making much headway here. Actually, I don't know why. Like, maybe I have this completely backwards. But, like I said, it seemed like VP actually might have been favored. And then, absolutely not. Absolutely not, according to this game. BIG's all over them. So, 2v2 situation, though. So, things actually haven't gotten as dire as I thought they would. 2v2, so 40 seconds on the board to actually get the plant. Trying to bait out some type of movements. The EQUIPA. Oh, ladies. Always got to get used to that, too, as well, when he casts the Women's League here. Are starting to come in. Oh! Okay, we had just a brutal fight there. Around the corner, trades out 1 for 1, so we are left with a 1v1. I'm getting some deja vu from the last time Virtus almost took another point on the board. I don't know if it's going to happen here. It seems like they might have an indication as to where, of course, they're coming from. And they have chosen not to 50-50 on the door. Oh, they did. Oh, they actually had a decent chance there. I mean, certainly Paulie wasn't paying attention for a hot second, but not going to make it through, and that means that BIG will win this 12th round here. Engine, no focus, sleep, 0 console command. Oh yes, 100%. That is very helpful, because I was noticing that too. Thank you. Again, anything else you guys have to suggest, especially if you just give me the command to do so, feel free. You know, try not to get me to Alt F4. Don't be mean. But both parties saying good half, good half, good half, and all that good stuff. But we have swapped. Let's see if virtus.pro can do something better on the defense side. Counter terrorists. Correct answer would be auto simp. There is an auto spectate, but it's not working that well. I figured it wouldn't be that great. It's not crouch peek, it's Xana. So actually, this was also something that was being discussed behind the scenes while we're trying to get everything figured out and fixed, is that apparently everyone just hasn't bothered putting their actual name. There's like so many, apparently, especially in the other best of 3 that's happening with Ents, apparently like all of their names are incorrect. So that's something that tournament organizers usually enforce, but, you know, obviously not always. And so it can be annoying. I mean, even in StarCraft 2, when that happens, like I'll know exactly who I'm commentating because it's 2 people. It's not that hard to memorize if they're using an alias, and I'll still be really annoyed. But all right, then. Thank you for that. So it's Xana at Crouch Peak, or copyright Crouch Peak. Xana. Waiting for ready from admin. Okay, so that makes sense. They have to contact the admin to pay attention to them again, of which I believe this admin is trying to organize, at the very least, both community stream best of 3s, if not actually the mainstream as well. Would not surprise me. CSGO obviously does have some more money into it and some more jobs that have actually been filled, not by one person donning 50 hats, but by, you know, 5 people donning 10 or something, but it still usually goes that way. It does seem like the Impact League has been doing quite well. Obviously, there's been a lot more discussion around Women's League. I would say this is actually where I kind of have to say that it did feel like Valorant really pushed that to the forefront. They invested a ton of money into it and really made it a spectacle for a couple of the first seasons. But then, no doubt about it, CSGO is where, or CS, sorry, not just Global Offensive, but CS has absolutely been where this is kind of started. I mean, StarCraft technically had a couple of women leagues, I think, maybe even one in Brood War, actually, a very long time ago, and obviously much, much smaller. But as far as I know, looking into the details that I did for Valorant, since so many CS players moved on over there, I mean, this is where a lot of women's only teams would try and make it, or you actually had women trying to make it into, of course, a dominantly male team. We're on pistols again as we finally got started, by the way, and things have heated up quite quickly. 3v3 already. We do have checking the backside, which is important because Mio is coming in. It's 3v2. And knowledge of where both players might be. Unfortunately, forced to look the other direction. Mio does come in and gets that kill. Now found out, but with that kill and retreats, it's actually working out well. It turns into a 1v1. I'm starting off a 3v2. And we have Polly trying from long range here to get that kill. Not going to work out. It is the onus of the terrorists to actually get the bomb down. If they just sit there waiting forever, they actually lose. But plenty of time still left over here. 50 seconds. They do have the bomb in hand. Okay, gonna make a move through vents, actually. I can know that call out. I'm not, entirely without some knowledge. It's a vent. Unfortunately, that did not seem to really work out well for them. They busted right into the crosshairs of Ayeka. So now they're actually another win for Virtus. So kind of readjusting myself here. We do have still this very underdog situation coming from behind. Another 8 rounds before things get a little bit spicier, I guess. But Virtus able to do it on the defense. As far as the actual map balance, what's better, terrorist or counter-terrorist? I have no idea. Zero idea. But I would say similar to most other esports. I mean, the balance of things doesn't really seem to affect until the very, very tippity top of the skill. And these ladies are absolutely fantastic at CSGO, no doubt about it. But even then, I'm not so much sure that it would be affected by defensive prowess on a map or not as much as it would be that their comfortability on such a map. I have gone into third-person mode. Do not want that. There we go. I fixed it. I learned that one at least, having played my 4 games of CSGO. Where is the action? Here's something. Catherine just went down. The team's still stacked up here. Now, does Xana have a rifle or a sniper rifle? That one always confuses me. She really just stuck up in here. No movement made. Actually try and get that bomb planted. Location call for the current players above the map. That, I have noticed that. I mean, thank you for reminding me, but I also noticed that it's really, really like general, shall I say. They finally make a move, and virtus.pro were just set up to deal with that quite well, having 3 people left on the board. But yeah, it's really general. I mean, that's a huge space that they cover as, you know, T starts or CT side or ramp. And I know that they can be different than the default suggestions in the game as well. So when it comes to jumping on top of a box, I won't be able to say, like, this is this box. That gun was called a Scout. Smaller damage than the main sniper. Thank you, so was sniper rifle. And I guess, I mean, I'll use that. You know, it might be very general. Might be very bland, but it is better than nothing. So, thank you. Oh, I was almost there to catch action. That's going to be a rarity. Catherine with the sniper rifle takes out Mars Simula. Perhaps just Simula, actually. I do have HLTV up, so I could double check. Double check. They aren't even... They're like, no part of that name is even listed, so I have no idea which one they are. Perhaps by process of elimination, but I don't get time for that. So we're down to a 3v1, and now a 1v2, but Jenny are very, very, very injured. Gotta get used to actually pressing the button when I need to move over. And Margot and Anxiety are coming in here. If we play this right, should be easy peasy cleanup. Coming one at a time. Jenny R still has a chance here to put 13 on the board for BIG. But this should be virtus.pro's as well. The bomb has yet to be planted. 30 seconds to go on that one. Where are we racing over to? Here we go. A site it is. Going to get that plant. I'm going to try and situate themselves as best as possible, but so many angles to choose from to actually defend. Throwing down some of the utility bots. Definitely a good plan, but again, so many angles to take care of. I mean, coming into the site, there's like this one, there's the vent, there's that. There's the dead body is actually very useful. There's that up there, which is how they died. And then, of course, back there's also an entry. So exceptionally difficult and not going to be able to do so. Virtus.pro do get a 6th point on the board. Again, reminding us that this is not going to be a completely one-sided match. However, you know, obviously EQUIPA very, very close to actually getting the win here. If they can kind of bolster, collect themselves again, and then I guess perform as well as they are performing on the counter-terrorist side. Now the terrorist side is actually having a little bit of trouble, or Virtus.pro's counter-terrorist side is actually just better. You know, either one, both, whatever it is. This means we actually get an exciting first game. Best 3 once again. You can actually see that above with little stars whenever they do win a game. Again, thank you to the default overlay for actually being good. Much appreciated, CSGO. We have some even guns aplenty. Just kind of spraying through the smoke. Not going to find any success there. There's someone waiting through. Actually, Jenny getting hurt a little bit here. Can we find him? Can we find him quickly enough? We can. They're leading the charge ship. The speed here is why they're taking so much damage. Cautiously having to go through the smoke. Very daring indeed. Not going to work out. Margot takes the shots. Behind them, we do have Xana, as well as Polly, actually, trying to make moves to make it through. But, I mean, kind of hard stuck as it is right now. And Polly actually just took some damage. I'm starting also to keep in mind, like, which way I have to go to actually get to someone. I'm, like, becoming a pro, man. It's great. I think so. My StarCraft 2 with my CSGO commentators, I'm caster, ZombieGrub, Counter-Strike. There's, like, a hyphen, you know? It's like ZombieGrub red and ZombieGrub blue, you know? You know, giving it a go. Tactical shooters are always fun and easy to get excited about as well. And I've been a casual fan of CSGO for a very long time. But actually dipping my toe into casting other games has been a real hurdle for me to overcome, even just mentally. Much less actually trying to figure things out, which has been troublesome, but we're here. We're actually in a game casting. Isn't that amazing? Similar actually getting two there. Again, I'm not sure who that is actually. They're definitely using a different alias at this point because they're not listed on the board. That way you can see in HLTV. I mean, Polly is also not someone that it's actually helpful to me. I'm going to put a little post-it note, you know, just like trying to figure out who's who. Maybe later. 4v2 situation. Bomb has been planted. Virtus.pro actually finally having some trouble on this half. Seem to be... Yeah, just holding on to their guns. Waiting for anyone to retreat into them would be the best possible solution at this point. One of those choices you do have to make. No one coming into their crosshairs anytime soon. Rest of EQUIPA just darting actually backwards here to the south of the map. Which I'm sure I could call out where they are. Garage. Outside. It's literally called outside. Wow. Basic is good, guys. Yeah, I know that much, Xerxes, because the tactics of CSGO and Valorant of a tactical shooter actually are very, very similar. Not to mention that even if I was not familiar with Valorant, I think, you know, anyone can understand sniper rifle down a long pathway equals bad, you know, bad news. You even learned that in Valorant, man. It's CSGO specific things. Which, funnily, the op is very much not, because they even called it the operator in Valorant. AWP, operator, you get it. So, 3v4 situation, Virtus once again in a little bit of trouble. You know, obviously a broken buy, a couple of people able to save their guns is great, but then not much help elsewhere, and unfortunately people who saved their guns just got taken down, leaving only Ayaka mentality. Nope. Yes. Oh my god, their name is actually Ayaka. Thank you so much for mostly putting your name in there. So they're just leaving Ayaka. There's actually able to pick up a gun. Unfortunately not able to win the duel. And EQUIPA gets ever closer to actually finishing this particular map here. You know that about Valorant? Yeah. It's the one thing they allowed to get as close as possible to CSGO, because otherwise they actually did want to distance themselves. Not necessarily because they were so hoity-toity that they're like, oh, like I'm a better tactical shooter. No, actually, a lot because they wanted to be a little more family-friendly, right? It's not, you know, you don't want to say kills as much as possible. You want to say other words, I guess, for going down. It's not the bomb, it's a spike. It doesn't kill them. I don't know what it does. Yeah. And they change all the names of the guns, which still are, you know, very, very similar. And then the one thing was like the op. We can acknowledge that. It's quite simple to learn. Yuck. Who was playing just a couple of hours ago, actually? I was watching some of the main ESL league, I suppose. Working its way through. A very awkward situation for Virtus.pro. Very awkward indeed. Not much hope in this particular round. And it being first to 16, I mean, they'd have to, if they do assume that this was going to be it, they didn't really give it their all to go into the next one. I mean, they'd be They'd have quite the comeback to make. Not that they already do not. Rushing on in here, actually. EQUIPA does get some shots at them. The pistol's kind of working out. Some of the SMGs as well. Managing to trade. And actually going down to a 1v1, which is still won by EQUIPA, but a lot more action and a more preferable round a lot of the time. They actually get those trades, but with it being now match point, does that help enough? A match point after EQUIPA had a couple of rounds in their pocket, obviously just winning that last one, so plenty of money to buy up, whereas Virtus are not in a similar situation at all. Once again, pretty terrible guns. I think this, I mean, honestly, this should be it, unless something really extraordinary does happen. And the last round got really close in kind of a similar situation. Imagine this time we don't have EQUIPA just going through that hallway onto the A site. And certainly they have not. Oh, thanks, Gengar. Much appreciated. Slow round to start things off. Thing for EQUIPA, knowing that they should have this in the bag. As long as they don't, one, just stack all on top of each other through a hallway, you know, that would be fantastic. But then also just play some smart tactical shooters. They did kind of jump up right there, clump up rather, but maybe not enough, or maybe just enough actually. We do have virtus.pro taking the woman advantage at this point, 2-1. Any chance to pick up some better guns? For instance, for Aika? Doesn't look like it. Catherine trying with the sniper rifle, doesn't get to actually get to shots at all. Xana holding down the fort here on the potential last round of this map. But I said potential for a reason. Aika came in, and unfortunately, Xana was not paying attention whatsoever. So we do still have map 1 to be played. And an opportunity for virtus.pro to make a little bit more of a comeback. Still 15-7. It is one that is not often overcome. So many risks that can be taken for EQUIPA after all. So many eco buys, they can just be like, you know, it wasn't too bad. And then even if they do lose the actual buy round, again, they still have so many rounds beyond that. But comebacks like this do happen. Absolutely, especially in CSGO. One of the reasons I was talking about earlier. The amount of rounds that they have. Anyway, the economy works, so on and so forth, but we still don't have virtus.pro in a very ideal situation, and now Catherine is kind of in a little bit of trouble. Yep, there we go. Finally getting destroyed by that Molly. Not before taking some people down, though. Ooh. Aika once again coming through very nicely. Getting an easy kill from behind. And now knowing where Jenny is, actually finishes the round. 4 left alive for Virtus.pro. Angel is actually fantastic. Now this, I would say this is the real start of the comeback, right? They can actually got some guns. We have EQUIPA not able to really buy up. And again, like, okay, so let's say EQUIPA, you know, doesn't mind having to do this once and then they'll buy next time. And then that's okay. They still have only one more round to win. This is kind of the situation where I think you start to sweat a little bit. Or maybe I was wrong about being able to buy up. I guess I was wrong about being able to buy up. I am right about the not being able to buy up for EQUIPA, though. Still going to use the economies for CSGO as well. But we do have a couple of good guns on Virtus.pro sides, and absolutely 0 on the side of big EQUIPA. So, you know, conceptually, I was correct. This is Virtus.pro's chance to get onto a 9th point. They can keep their cool, keep their mentality going, and still have a comeback. Fortunately, that wasn't a Molly, as that is broken through. Aika not being able to actually stay on the line this time around. Crucial in the last 2 rounds, though, so still big ups to her. Catherine trying to take on multiple members. Does get shot down, but it ends up being a 2v3 situation. Virtus.pro still mostly in control. Mostly, I said, as Mars comes in here and takes down 2, actually. Anxiety also got taken down. Now it is just down to Margot. Uh-oh. Where has the round gone? She does grab 1. And now she needs to confirm where the other is, something that she cannot do. Now, she is counter-terrorist, so also waiting out to see where that bomb might be planted. Oh, actually got a peek there. Got a peek. I assume Jenny also got a peek, though. And certainly trying to peek now. Oh, and nicely done with the jump peek shots. Is able to win it for BIG. EQUIPA takes map number 1. And you know, not dominant fashion, but certainly convincing fashion. BIG, really playing quite well. Virtus.pro had a couple of moments, that's for sure. It's very unfortunate that they actually had a good chance to at least put 9th on a board, and were unable to do so. And that'll be it for the first map of this best of 3, and my first cast of CSGO. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. You get more money with an SMG kill. Thank you. I actually think I did I did a little bit of studying is a strong word for what I did. Looking at clickbait videos. That's what I did. And oh, here we go. And I do recall actually seeing that as a hint, and I just completely forgot it. That is definitely a point I gotta keep in mind. So we'll see if getting into map 2 is a lot smoother than getting into map 1, which there were many delays and just confusion going around behind the scenes. Hopefully everything is fixed, and I figured out how to do it. I'm like a big girl now. I can use the console in CSGO and join games and stuff. The big girl. Yeah, I was watching these clickbaity videos, you know, trying to get the most information in the shortest amount of time possible. So like 50 tips and tricks you need to know, and like half of them are completely useless. A quarter of them are useful for a person like me, but not useful to anyone else. And then another quarter is like actually useful for everyone. So learning, for instance, where, you know, how long the bomb takes to defuse with or without the defusal kit. I had no, I would have taken a long time to notice this, that the bomb makes a different sound when planted and ticking on different sites. I had no idea. Right? That's one of those tips where I was like, actually, I think a lot of people wouldn't know this. Good for you. Out of like 50 tips, like 5 actually were very useful to even the hardcore CSGO fans. But yeah, it's I mean, they had an example in a relatively recent video, I suppose. And it was different. Yeah, I think differentiating the bomb sound in the midst of the action, all the other sound that happens, and just, you know, really paying attention to that specifically is probably pretty freaking difficult. Much more often, you would just be able to have some scouting done to be able to figure, oh, it's not A, it's B. Thank you very much to get Jed8601 for 3 months in advance. Oh shit! Oh, thank you very much. We actually aren't supposed to have like donation and sub alerts on for this, so just gonna have to get me thinking. Yeah, no pretty sounds. Which also means if anyone's like donated or anything like that, I completely missed it. It seems like you're good. Yeah, but thank you very much for 3 months in advance. Must be barely noticeable. When you hear them side by side, it's actually very noticeable. But it, you know, not side by side, it's the same clicking sound as everything else. Successful commentating moment. I taught you guys something. Oh my god, I think we're in. Oh my god. Scared my cat. Hey. My cat stole a hairband. Hey. Hey. Ah! We did it! It took, I don't know, magic, but we did it. Hot diggity damn. All right, well, as you can see here, are on Anubis now, and BIG is actually down 3 rounds, as we, well, probably only down 2 by the looks of things. They have plenty of guns, plenty of people alive. Iega being the only one here from Virtus.pro with a wee old pistol. Get it, girl. And my mic just keeps on resetting its volume. I'm not sure why it does that. CSGO's adjusting your microphone settings. That makes sense, because I keep restarting the damn thing. Digital Chan, you got it. Yeah, I imagine it's something to do like, you know, overriding the mic control or allowing other apps to use it or something. I'll try and fix it, because I might have to do this a lot if I plan on casting CSGO. Apparently there's a lot of restarts involved in this PlayCast thing. At least I noticed it quick enough, so should not be breaking y'all's ears. Plus I don't think I have a limiter that I should definitely add to this scene. That would also be extremely helpful for y'all's ears. Yeah. The guns and stuff too. Now we're all good. Okay, so yeah, back to even gun situation. Virtus down a map. Hopefully Anubis works out better for them. So far it has, but maybe not for very much longer, as they are already down to 3. They're already down 3 members of their team. Not making much headway through here either. Outside long. That's what it says. That's what I'm going with. This also should be the map pick of Big EQUIPA. Indeed it is. Not exactly rare for a series to have the teams win on the maps they didn't choose in any game, I think. But obviously it's supposed to be the way that it goes. VP already lost a nuke. BIG so far technically losing Anubis, but only by 2 rounds. I don't think we're too worried quite yet. So this one also seems like it is in the bag for them. So really losing it by 1 round, unless they mess up against a lonely 2 members of Virtus.pro. They should be feeling pretty confident. And it's not like Virtus.pro are actually doing anything to contest. They just save. A lot of sense right there. We'll see what they can do in the next match. And if you guys want to get some bets going, don't tell anyone. An interesting map. Taking a solid look at this. Okay, well, the Angels are not looking to be winning this one either, to be honest. Let's see what their approach is. So far, just scouting around, actually. Couple of good guns in their pocket, but Catherine already knocked down. Leaves them at 4. Are able to trade out Aika with the pistol. Headshots. Why do some folks only have pistols? These 2 saved their guns in a round that was lost to them. And the rest had to buy off of the broken bank. And so the hope is not strong here, but having a pistol wheeler actually win out a 1v1. It's pretty good. Doesn't look like they were able to pick up a gun, though. So plenty of time to actually make their way over onto this A site. You do have Amore. Actually holding from the backside. There's so many avenues in CSGO. It's kind of crazy to try and keep track of them all. Xanath is definitely keeping track of a very correct one. Sees those lobs coming out. Partially blinded. Polly actually goes down to, again, another pistol. 1v1-1. Nicely done by Amore, who I guess got rewarded for waiting right there. But Xanath takes down Margot. 3v3. Now a 3v1. Xanath and D7 actually both taking down 1 apiece, leaving only Amore as the defuse is going to come in. Amore was taken out, and now it is Big EQUIPA evening out the score. So whatever momentum Virtus.pro gained in the beginning, we totally missed it because PlayCast is apparently a little screwy. I'm learning about the fine features of CSGO broadcasting. Oh, sure, to really explain for some of the people who are not familiar with tactical shooters, I can at least do that. Very basics. Everyone gets a certain amount of money at the beginning, and then you get a certain amount of money for the amount of kills you get, also dependent on guns, apparently, as well, SMGs. Learned that today. And you also do get, some money for dying, defusing, winning the round, losing the rounds. So you get more for doing good things, less for doing bad things. And you don't share a pool of money, but you can buy things for your teammates and then pop them on over. You can also kill someone with a worse gun. And then if you can pick it up. Like no one else is guarding the gun. You just kill someone in an isolated 1v1. You can go over and be like, oh, great, a rifle. That's awesome. Just something that you don't want to let happen. So there's even rare circumstances in which you'll have a team actually throw away a gun rather than risk losing it to their opponents. Now, Catherine actually manages to win the initial 1v1. It was 2 tucked into that corner, so she does go down, but quickly revenged by Margot. The 4v3 situation, Xanath holding, well, no longer holding a sniper rifle. Never mind, got taken down, actually. I had to come from behind and make it once again a 2v3. Virtus.pro got a man lead, and yeah, I was going to say, had planted the bomb over on that A site. I did Poly coming in from 2 different directions. I'm going to scout around, but some smoke's really blocking their entry here. Oh, yeah, the jump check is actually going to take them down. That worked out. Now they are known, of course, Margot looking the right direction. He's going to win the duel, though. Yeah, trades, actually. Comes down to a 1v1. Aida versus Margot. Aida was just hurt, I believe. I mean, they know where Margot is. Clear. No, they didn't, actually. Half a second too late to that turnaround. Margot takes the duel and puts on the point on the board for VP.Angels. Barely holding on to that lead after getting things tied up. And as far as the basics of this 5v5 tactical shooter stuff, they are shared across the 2 most popular games. And I believe as far as Counter-Strike goes, a lot of it's shared across all of their games as well, however many games Counter-Strike has had. I can list 3, 1.6, Source, and Go. I nailed it. Oh, and CSGO 2, if that technically counts. It's not quite out yet, but it will soon be. Ooh, the op down long. Ooh. Oh, just a little elbow was revealed, and Catherine picks up the kill. Now looking down another corridor. Teammate leading the charge, actually. Oh, gonna need to back him up really quickly. Oh, a little bit quicker on the backup, unfortunately. That might have been able to be paired up a bit better if I were to try and offer feedback here. Unfortunately, it didn't happen that way, so not able to hold that particular position. Down to 3v3, though. Sniper rifle in hand for VP. Where is Mio set up? No place particularly important right now. Actually has the bomb, too. Clearly headed over onto A. Shayak has given them the, well, somewhat go ahead. They do have the crossover. What is that? Canal. There we go. Successfully do so. Utility going out to try and maybe... I was going to say clear up the A sites, but then we have that movement backwards. And it's either going to be actually like a reposition onto B. Yeah, no, it actually is going to be. I was wondering if they're going to try and cut them off at Canal, which I just learned. But actually, it might be the reverse. Oh, very unfortunate. Mio too cautious, trying to make that turnaround over to B. And actually gets destroyed for it. It's also Mullet's coming down on either side. It's probably a little bit trapped here. Brings out the pistol to try and help. Does take time to reload. And actually gets time to do so as well. But the grenade comes in, will take them out, trapped as they were. Good choice from Ayaka. Unfortunately, not able to finish off the round as D7 comes in for that final kill and evens up the score once again. Again, apologies if these are not correct names, because I'm pretty sure a lot of them aren't. Probably like half of them aren't correct names. But since half of them aren't correct names, I can't even process of elimination whether it's right or not. So they choose to enter into the server with the aliases they've chosen. That's what we're going to go with. But if you do want to check out the actual team members, perhaps your fans, then the HLTV website is, I guess, the best place to do it. And people actually use it, unlike TL, in which I suggest to go to Team Liquid in StarCraft 2, and everyone's like, what the hell is that? But anyways, there you have it, linked in there. And like I had said at the beginning too, it did seem like VP was favored in this match based off, I guess, the picks from the people on the website. But obviously they are down a game. Very tight map number 2, however, far more in line perhaps with my expectation, which is that it was going to be close, but that was completely based off of the names of the teams, BIG versus virtus.pro. And I'm like, oh, both those are both good. Don't actually know their history. Which I actually might be able to find out. I don't know if there's like an Ligulac equivalent. Probably also on that website I just linked. Haven't looked into it though yet. And now we're into a very feisty round because virtus.pro coming in here without much. Just the pistols. Oh, is that one of those? Is this the thing? Is this the taser? Kind of want to see it in action if it is. Jenny R actually just went down. Now it's not. Darn. I wonder what that silhouette even looks like. Does it ever appear in professional matches? Probably not, right? Despite actually a trade from a pistol there, it was a trade, and then many more members of VP went down. Trying to win again with pistols, especially long range, not going to work out. Not unless you have some really excellent clicking on head action. Not quite happening there. So, Big EQUIPA does take the slight lead once again, but it's been toe-to-toe. VP did start off very strong. Apparently, we missed a 0-4 start in their favor, but since then, it's been back and forth. Mostly as a troll, yeah. Yes, the player Halo is spectator only. Someone actually had to even give me the command line to put it into the console, which was very, very helpful indeed. I just believe it's called defaulting. Oh, Margot was just taken out. Easy peasy. Combo gunshot plus grenade. I don't want to actually shoot there. It's pronounced EQUIPA. Wait, where? Who's that? Oh, big EQUIPA, big EQUIPA. EQUIPA. I'll try to remember. EQUIPA. Darn my English language. (3v2), still winnable for VP, just a bit difficult. The U is silent. EQUIPA. Oh, that does help. Bomb still ticking down. Still time, but actually you got to make a move for it. So they do make a move for it. Trade out 1 for 1. Now it's only Mio here. Can they get the... Oh, no, able to get the defuse. Didn't mean to say on the body, but it kind of worked out there. And Mio actually comes through, making sure the defuse does not happen. And there you have it once again. Tied up. The very last second there. I guess what the plan was there for EQUIPA. EQUIPA. Was that one person would go for the diffuser, perhaps even a fake diffuse, but the other one would be covering them. And then perhaps, 2 angles on one, which would be usually ideal, not something that one person alone can take care of. They're literally approached by 2 different angles, but it didn't really work out that way. Able to do the one after the other. Obviously ideal for Mio, but maybe a lost opportunity for PIG. Yeah, maybe could have played that out better. I am definitely not comfortable criticizing yet, but sometimes things look like they could go better. I mean, I think that's fair to say. It's 5v5 ghosts. I mean, depends on what you mean by ghosts. I mean, if they actually die, then presumably the rest of the rounds are, in fact, ghosts. Margot and Aika actually taking down 2 leaves VP in a good situation. Amore just got taken down, though, thanks to a sniper rifle. We'll be able to plant onto the A sites to see what's EQUIPA. It's actually kind of freaking me out now. EQUIPA is actually trying to do the retake. Mio actually took that one down. The sniper rifle still up, making sure that the other angle is not being used. It is not. It is just Zenith coming in from the one direction, all by their lonesome. And they try to make something work out there, but a very nice last cleanup there for Big EQUIPA. As we now have the swap. It's been very, very neck and neck. Let's see if actually swapping will change that up and someone will dominate. They certainly had a more convincing map last time from BIG. It's got the little star there. Means they won the first map, guys. Being the observer for this must be super hard. Observing in these tactical shooters is kind of crazy. When you look at the actual professional setups, and even if you think that's impressive, a lot of the professional observers say it's still not enough. The amount of observers they have isn't enough, not just as far as working 12-hour days, but literally just like 4 observers per match, you know? PCs and command consoles, you see behind the scenes pictures. It's kind of crazy. I mean, and I don't want to discredit StarCraft observers or general RTS observers, but it's definitely easier. And we do have to get that admin confirmation, so that's what we're waiting for. Fortunately, I don't need to restart the client for this one. Doesn't need Skycam and Director. They do have that. You know, and they have someone who's actually directing a lot of the observers as well. The head observer, I guess. Can have to be promoted to a type of director position. Mapu's still the GOAT. Sure. Should ask Roddy's opinion about observing in StarCraft. Not that it's bad. His opinion is just that it's pretty easy. Pretty much sit someone down, ask them if they played StarCraft before, put their mouse sensitivity down to 10%, and then you have a pretty much stable broadcast from there. Mappa would disagree and say that you need hotkeys that are different, and you need to use your own mouse and keyboard, and you need camera location hotkeys, and he does believe that he is the best. Because he works very hard at it. But I would dare say, I don't think I ever saw a single complaint about Nial's observing. I never saw anyone say, I wish Mapu was observing. And I don't want to discredit someone's job. And this is, you know, it gets kind of closer to that the more that I'm like, well. But I would 100% say that's tactical shooter observing or arena shooter observing, like Overwatch, like what the heck was on there, is massively more difficult. Much higher skill floor and skill cap. Admin is AFK. Again, they're probably wearing at least 10 hats, if not 50. What goes on in Overwatch observing? It's the same situation as like they need multiple observers and someone directing the observers, but it's even more of a cluster than it is in Valorant, which is even more of one than CSGO. And CSGO doesn't have nearly as many like particle effects and explosions, and it's not nearly as fast as any of those other games I listed. It's still a lot. So like Valorant's kind of like it on like a little bit of speed or something, and then Overwatch is just on crack. Down to pistols once again. We got some dual wielding going on. What's better than one gun? 2 guns. It's true. virtus.pro do start things off nicely with the amount of kills they've gotten. Still going pretty nice, actually, although it's down to 2v2. Nope, it's quickly down to a 2v0. They did, of course, get here in time to defuse the bomb. No problem whatsoever. Definitely don't need a kit for this one. Nice and fast. Nothing got screwy despite some of the back and forths that were happening. Overwatch 2 being literally the worst reviewed game on all Steam is just unbelievable. Is it really? I knew people were review bombing it, but I don't know if it really deserves that. Oh, I don't know if that's true, Mike. I mean, you're never going to get as good observing when you're also casting. I think that's true in all games, even games where it's, you know, easier to observe. Dedicated observer is always preferable. Flip between 80 different players in separate battles. Yeah, PUBG also very difficult. I mean, really, RTS, top-down view, God mode, spectator. I think it just makes things easier. And you can't really do that forever in CSGO. I mean, you can show an overview for a little bit, but you can't do that forever. So VP with the win in the last round. Expected to win this one as well. We do have... Was that okay, that wasn't purpose. Okay. No, that ended up being a good smoke. I was doubtful. My bad for doubting. They are very good at this game. So many reasons for those Overwatch 2 reviews. I mean, I still don't think it's that bad of a game. Indeed, this is the Impact League. Patience is rewarded. But it looks like elsewhere things are not going as well for the Angels here. I'm forced to rotate on over as it has become apparent that the plan is happening over on A. We're just going to have a bust right on through. Run and gun, man. That's the way to go. Not exactly working out well for VP, however. Down to just one Amore. Going to try and come in. I mean, presumably actually force the issue. Not really a reason to save in this situation. And they are going to catch one from behind. Isolating down to 1v1 now. Very possible for Angels to win this. Oh, I got to win the last 1v1, though. That's not going to happen. Poly stands their ground. The Terrorists put another point on the board. That's EQUIPA. EQUIPA. Right now, just down 1 rounds. With a map behind them as well. They should still be feeling pretty confident. The Anubis has definitely gone different. Yeah, there's so many people who are totally fine with Overwatch and not going to bother reviewing. That there's been a lot of built-up hatred for the game, which is most of the reviews. Not they actually do with the game itself. Margo actually grabbing 2 right there before finally getting taken down. It's a nice start for virtus.pro. A 4v3 situation. I'm not sure. I'm not convinced you can move this silently through water, but apparently it is possible in Counter-Strike. Another member of EQUIPA just went down there. Now it's down to just these two we've been watching, kind of trying to sneak up. Not really working out, though. Not so much to sneak anymore. Does manage to win the battle, but in a 1v2 situation now, Aida not exactly knowledgeable of where the opponents are. It's going to make a break for it. Figuring, knowing that at least one was coming to that direction. It's a little cautious to head on over here, but, you know, figures to blitz it. And they might just be rewarded with a plant. Actually, defending the plant's going to be very, very tough. Not impossible. It's clear that the Angels trying to set up a bit more of a pinch if it is going to be that A hit. Now that's been confirmed. Actually going to go through not as much of like a... I wish I knew the... oh, that's Canals. This much I will remember. Didn't actually end up going to Canals. Oh, and it looks like Ayaka didn't actually need to be part of the party anyways. Catherine finds Ayaka, takes them down, and VP will get another win on the board here, even without a kit. Plenty of time with the bomb. So it looks like, you know, I've been seeing a lot of people cheer for BIG with different languages, different flags. And I'm just checking out the actual makeup of the team right now. BIG does stand for Berlin International Gaming. It is the same team as what Showtime is on. I'm not crazy about that. But then we do have a multicultural team. Oh, if you just click on them. Oh, fancy. Ew. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm actually not sure what that flag is, and I can't click on it to find out. Someone will have to tell me what most of these members come from. Oh, things have been happening very quickly. very quickly, and all in favor of mostly Catherine there. Grabbed the 3K with assists, of course, but still 4 left over for VP as Big EQUIPA kind of just let that one play out the way you would expect with all pistols. Thank you, Portuguese. You know, I was going to take a guess, and then I was like, guessing's going to be worse. If I get this wrong, people are going to really make fun of me. Then I have Portuguese, Spain, and Israeli, and yeah, the Israel flag. So... it is called Berlin International Gaming. That's the cover. VP still seeming to have gained some momentum. Now ahead by 3. Looking to continue on, carry it on here. Xanath's got the op. I'm going to look at them. Let's watch them. Actually, more coming in with a subpar gun. Not sure actually what it's called. FAMAS? It's called a FAMAS. You can name your guns to a certain extent. Listen, this knife's called Bart. Is that what it is? Xanath's Tryhard. Such a silly little fun feature in CSGO. And then playing specific roles on a team. Yeah. Something that's, you know, obviously Valorant kind of constricted down to the agent types, but even, you know, then it can be a little more mixed up. 5 guys all in the same suit and armor do vastly different roles. And I was trying to find the slide. Yeah, there we go. I finally found the opera. Not going to be involved in the action anytime soon. Just witnessing the death of her colleague, Jenny R, going down. And now the reposition is going to come on. So the Molly will eventually dissipate. There we go. And now we can push into A. There is one waiting. Just a little poke here. He's going to have to wait for some backup. They're actually going to stop the plant, I believe. The plant is still going to happen, at least be attempted. And actually, with them winning the duels, more power to them. 3v2 in favor of EQUIPA. Oh, the knowledge that someone's coming from the backside, but not actually getting the shot there. Margot is still left all alone. And is taken down relatively easily. So actually tighten up the score, 9-11. So certainly a closer map than the last. And with VP in the leads, kind of feel like we might get to a map 3. But EQUIPA's going to try their best to make sure that does not happen. Get that clean and easy 2-0. To start off the Season 4 of the ESL Impact League European Division. There is also a North American Division and a South American Division. South America happening immediately after this, I believe, and then North America later tonight. But I'll be casting other things. I'll be actually DMing D&D at that point, so... I'm not going to do that. They make more guns viable. I mean, from what I casually hear listening to CSGO commentators, I feel like I hear 3 names. You know, 4, I guess. The op, of course. The names are completely escaping me as soon as I try to actually think of them, of course. The AK-47. The Deagle. There we go. And then 16. Yeah, I was trying to think of Deagle. Yeah, those are it. And I guess pistol, as opposed to always Deagle. The occasional dualies, as we saw a couple of rounds ago. Getting kind of weird here. Finally takes the person down who was in smoke. 3v3 towards the end of it. Plants happening once again here on the A sites. VP gonna be looking for that retake. As EQUIPA actually gets set up here, kind of on the back side of the site. Polly was just taken down by Margot. Opening up certainly an opportunity for VP to actually break in here and get the defuse. They've actually, I mean, well, EQUIPA actually moved far enough away, not coming in through that kind of one entryway. Margot's going to try and defuse the bomb. Does have the kids. It's going to be lickety split here. Oh, not lickety split enough. Half a second away from actually getting the defuse. The rest of their teammates fell, and Xana come in at the right exact time to make sure that VP does not gain another point on the board. Or rather, instead, EQUIPA continues to catch up. 10-11 now. I think a P90, I think of like P90X. Wasn't that like all the excitement back in the 2010s? I wish I could get a cat cam up here, guys. But I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to. Can we just do just a little one? Just for a hot second. Ah. Maybe in the next mid-round. When dance-based exercise was popular. Is it not? Is it still not? I thought it was so popular. And it specifically rewards $300 like the rifles instead of $600 like the rest of the SMGs. But it's in the SMG category. Interesting. It's part of the games I'm going to have to learn. But hey, I educated like 4 people about the bomb sound being different between the sites. All right, so I got that going for me. And you know what? EQUIPA has a lot of things going for them. A lot of those things being guns. Good old guns. And even the subpar gun here on Aida. Just kind of backed up with a lot of utility. All 4 options of the grenades. I was gonna say, about to have a little horror movie moment. Everything was silent up until then. Now it's just someone rampaging around with an SMG and actually getting a ton of kills with it, having to swap over to the pistol for a hot second, but it worked out. So wonderfully done by Aida, who really just made this round a, default win for their team. The rest of her teammates did have to take down the last 2, but it worked out well. And that was certainly an opening worthy of a highlight moment. So that was pretty... It was a round that was favoring them, sure, but that was still pretty cool, all right? You put that in there, you pretend that it was actually like a 1v5 situation, and you just made the comeback happen, and then boom, you're on a really awesome team. Which I gotta imagine they're already pretty happy to be on such an established team as BIG. But very nicely done. You'll be paying attention to that happening again, actually. Suppose that she is just the designated tip of the spear. The entry, once again, getting that kill. With teammates all behind her, actually. Hopefully they don't line up into a molly. That would be very awkward, but deciding not to push the issue anymore on A, having 2 of Team VP standing their ground there. I'm trying to reposition. Definitely looking for anyone who might have been coming on the backside of her VP, choosing not to do so. Covering the sights primarily, not moving forward. Hardly moving forward. Actually, Xanath with the snipe just took one down and is trying to get another one. Need to be helped by Aida, though. And now the intentions are pretty clear. As VP tries to swing around to defend that B plants, it is only Ayaka. Ayaka is probably the way to go. It is only Ayaka. I mean, if they come in from the right angle, it's possible, but EQUIPA making sure to pull back and making sure they give themselves plenty of room to actually take down anyone trying to make a move on that bomb. Cleans up the end of the round as expected. And now, SpaghettiOs, suddenly EQUIPA is actually leading map number 2 after already having map number 1 under their belts. VP once again in trouble. Again, they started off apparently 0-4, I believe, something that we unfortunately missed. And then it's just not too long ago, they were once again ahead by at least 3, if not 4 again, right? So might be letting this one slip through a little bit. Gonna have to concede the 13th point as well, methinks, with their current gun setup. Pretty much nothing to work with. Meanwhile, EQUIPA has everything to work with. Default, nice and slow, CSGO. Waiting for the running gun. then I can just get really excited. Otherwise, it's like, oh, tactics? I don't know about that. I think it's very unlikely that VP is actually going to try and push forward. They know they'd be outgunned in a long-distance match. Perhaps hoping to catch them trying to move forward to more aggressive angles. Which VP has not done, just holding on to the sights. And we do have... Oh, boy. There we go. This is coordinate to the... Oh, it does. Oh, that's... should have figured that one out earlier. Not that I can actually read the freaking numbers, but... Yeah, the numbers on the minimap coordinate to the numbers on your keyboard, man. It's crazy. That's awesome. I was going to say Ayaka was in the backside. Not finding much to do there. Actually kind of caught off guard, perhaps, even by the amount of people. 4v3. Aida did go down, but so did Ayaka and Margot. Aida versus Ayaka is going to be a tough 1v1 if that ever happens. Oh, cinematic. Right into the swimming pool. And as expected, Angels are having a difficult time. There's so much they can do, but there's not any reason to not do anything. Hoping to catch someone trying to run away from that bomb exploding. Not going to be able to do so. As the team EQUIPA is actually just going to run away. Run to the north. As VP runs to the south. Not going to find any pickups trying to run away. A little unfortunate, but actually just look at them. You picked up a gun. That was right before they actually got into the buy run, isn't it? Oh, nicely done then. That's something going for him. And the buy up for VP will happen. It's generally how this tactical shooter thing goes. Someone has the round in which they do not buy anything. They are on eco. Not very likely to win. Perhaps more so planning on what they can do in the next round. Situation we found ourselves here. As Angels are down 2. And now with some good guns. Definitely going to be more confident taking some of these long-range battles. Absolutely not against the op, however. And that canal, that canal space is just asking to be running right into an op. So probably don't do that. A little bit more through the middle here from EQUIPA. I do already lose a member, though, to Molly by the looks of things. If I understand that flame marker on the kill feed correctly, I think I got that one right. And a nice hard stop to any movement onto the bomb site. Oh, trying to actually chase after a little bit's punished. Polly making sure to check the backside. Especially as the teammates start to come in here. Holding the line. Might seem like they are kind of gonna baby push the issue once again. We do have the bomb coming in on the right side. 2 members here. 2 members coming in on middle. It's literally called middle. I like it. Middle and main. There we go. VP's gonna have to be a little careful about this. They could be pinched. Already grabbing 1, grabbing 2, and looking for that 3rd. Molly does come down, makes things a little bit awkward, and Xanath making things very awkward. Takes down 2 of their own. A 2v2 situation. Ooh, the Angels definitely going to be winning this round. Don't win this. Can have a very good buy. Then it's on the 15th round already. It's a little bit of a slippery slope. Xanath and Jenny are injured. They got the op set up correctly. Amori's about to go right into the crosshairs. They did peek, but yeah, still went back in, got killed, and now the other team member of the VP is going to go down as well. Margot, the last to fall. And like I said, now it's just you pretty much are on 15 already. 14 to 11. And how much can you buy up as Team VP in the situation? A little bit. Some utility as well. Definitely makes it more promising. An op in hands too. So yeah, I definitely can set something out, but it's kind of the almost do and die moment. 15 will be match point. First 16 in CSGO. You could stop it here and now. That would just be fantastic, wouldn't it? Just be fantastic. Catherine manages to find 1 already with that op. That's a good start. Looks like the call start moving, aggressing over onto B has been made. No one actually has any idea of where anyone is now, however. As you can see, that smoke comes down to no effect. Unbeknownst to VP, who's got smokes elsewhere. They will actually look to be a hit on that B site, converging in probably momentarily. 4v5 situation. Burst through, though, and kill 2 of VP's members instantly. The rest of them actually have to come back and help out. Would have been ideal. Would have been. Unfortunately, Margot takes one down, but suddenly 2 members fall for VP, and it's a 3v3 situation with at least 1 member of VP kind of very, very far away. And everyone coming back in on that B site. Catherine helps out with a Bayamore, takes one down. D7 quick to get some revenge, 2-2. And is EQUIPA, who has the better guns. Will they have the better positioning? Will they have any type of scouting to actually work with? Catherine looking for a freebie kill. Anyone poking their head around these doors here? Gonna have to actually engage a little bit more onto that site. Pair up with their buddy. Unfortunately, their buddy does go down. However, it was a trade, and Catherine does win the final 1v1 to keep VP, well, not just in the match, but also, of course, a little bit closer to actually getting to their own 15th point. 14-12 will be the score. There we go. That was a very solid round from VP. I mean, it was definitely a little bit of trouble. I mean, they bought up a little bit, and certainly the opening pick helped, I think, really raise the confidence and increase the possibility of them actually winning their rounds. But things got a little bit dicey with some of those trades. But yes, they do indeed win the rounds. 2 within, matching their opponents. Oh, you really got to win because you broke your losing economy. Is the loss bonus, you mean? The loss, not bonus, the loss, chain. There you go. I think it's an appropriate phrase for it, the lost chain. I'm gonna say it is. Kinda made it up though. And yeah, once again on this weird subpar gun choices. But they may do in the last rounds. See if they can do it again. Keepa. Perhaps once again looking to I mean they're gonna look for an opening pick, try to open up a site, but some more conservative play here from the Angels have really been setting up pretty similar, except for this, except for if I could just get to the freaking number, if I could see it. Yeah, except for that. Gosh darn it, was that a 0? Was that an 8? The minimap's too freaking small, but yes, Amori exhibiting himself quite aggressively, being able to use the power of that short-range gun to the greatest effect possible, helping to open up the rounds for VP, and now it is a 4v2 situation in their favor, so very nicely done. They got a little 1v2 going on here. The rest of VP's coming in to help out, however. 2-on-2, and oh, it looks like they actually weren't paying attention. Margot does eventually win the duel, however, and Catherine and Margot together, taking down Xanath, will mean that we are on a 14-13 scoreline. Things are once again getting heated up. Angels had 2 opportunities in this map to be at a pretty good advantage. You know, up by 4 at least twice, I want to say. That was a, promising map for them, and then they let it slip, and it was really starting to slip. It held the line when it was most important, and now they're gaining a little bit of momentum for themselves to hopefully send us into a game 3. I think it was a 6. Oh, it was a 0. Ah, I could have guessed it. 0, 6, 8. It's gonna look a little similar when the minimap's this small. I noticed on the official stream, it's just like it's an overlay that doesn't have the black box around it, so it can be like a little bit bigger without obscuring the rest of the screen. I wish I would have that one. Something to look into in the future though, because trying to add in your own HUDs and stuff seems a little more complicated. StarCraft 2, it's I mean you still have to open the file folder, I suppose, but yeah, a little more complicated than CSGO. With all the excitement of the comeback, I forgot to show you guys how cute Ziggy's being, but it will have to wait. Perhaps if this does go into a game 3, you can get to that break, a little cat break. A little less likely to go into game 3, though, as 2 members of VP find themselves dead and gone from this round. Lickety split. some revenge to be had. It's not enough to even up the score, however. Catherine taking a lot of damage, still actually in the fight. Yeah, not for very much longer. Gets taken down. And with that, the rifle as well. Just Xana? Okay. Again, having to check every time. I'll tab over and see if it's actually their full name or not their name. It's just... So it's a little annoying. Just, you know. These players are awesome. They're amazing. I'm sure they're great people, but like, oh man, if they could just use their actual name. Polly waits the correct position, correct angle, and takes on Aika. It puts EQUIPA on that 15th point, that match points. And what do VP have to stop them? For the last 3 rounds, it's felt very difficult to actually get that full stop on the opponents. 15 points. They were able to stop it for a little while. Finally let that one go, and once they let that one go, suddenly their guns look worse than ever before. An aggressive play opened up, what is it, the 27th round, I believe it was. Might be a little on the nose at this point. Oh, Molly! Up, hit you! It didn't look like she was moving particularly quickly. The smoke to clear it out is also something that I literally learned today. I actually had no idea that that was something that counteracted a Molly. I think I actually did know it. Like, I heard it once in a professional broadcast, and I totally forgot. But yeah, that's why that went down the way that it did. Fortunately, as far as holding the sights, it might not happen. Actually, that went quite well for VP. Mio coming in for at least 2 before finally getting taken down significantly helped, and it's actually VP winning this round. I mean, quite favorably. 3 left alive, able to pick up a gun before everything was done. Oh, 2 guns before everything was done? Okay, that was actually much better than expected. I kind of counted them out, to be honest, and then everything happening in the span of 5 seconds changed the tide of battle. And virtus.pro definitely have a shot to actually tie this up and then go into overtime. Yeah? Oh my goodness. Am I going to experience the endless overtime of CSGO for one of my first casts ever? That would be pretty funny. I've not just heard rumors of this thing. I've actually been impacted by such significant overtime problems. And sometimes CSGO and StarCraft 2 are lined up with each other. Anyway, okay, this could actually turn into a bloodbath. Nope, just trade out 1 for 1. It's, you know, better possibility than some alternatives. 4v4 situation. VP still with the much better guns. And the same was said for EQUIPA in the last round. It didn't go super well for them. The Xanath now significantly weakened. Bomb has been planted, something to work around. Second objective coming in, I guess. A lot of obscurity with all these smokes coming down. Some battles finally happening. A trade so far. Polly takes out 1 still alive, taken out by Mio. The timer. 2v1, D7 coming in for perhaps the backside, actually. Are they going to be expecting this? Going for the defuse. They are expecting it. And we are going to get that 15-15. They do it! My first overtime in CSGO. Oh my god. All right, now quick, someone explain to me how overtime works. You get a lot of money. Each team plays 3 rounds. That is a lot of money. All right, so it's, I mean, I should have expected it. Basically, you compare it to Valorant, except you scale it up a little bit. Max money, get everything you possibly can. Your best strats, your best foot forward. But it can keep going. There is not so much a sudden death, you know, just everyone knife each other in the middle and let's call it a day. No, sir. What's the record for overtimes? That must be on record, right? for like a prestigious broadcast match, something like that. Like buy multiple auto snipers. 3 overtimes? Actually, I would have guessed more, because I've definitely been around watching some of the 1 or 2 or 3 overtime matches. The more overtimes that CSGO gets, the more the people start talking about it on Twitter, and the more people that watch. I would not be surprised if 88 rounds of Counter-Strike. Oof. I mean, these overtimes have significantly increased CSGO broadcasts. CSGO broadcasts are already longer just by the nature of, best of 30. But then the overtime added into it and the slower pacing as well of CSGO. I mean, the professionals tend to be a little slower paced, rather. So professional tactical shooter, I would say, goes longer than short, which they could actually argue is the opposite in StarCraft 2. In StarCraft 2, worst players cannot kill each other for the life of them. And they're not particularly aggressive. So there's just like a lot of turtling. Valorant and CSGO, my experience, the lower the rank, the more it's just run and gun, run and gun, run and gun. But yeah, you add in the professionals actually using tactics on a bunch of nerds. You add in how many rounds there are. You add in, I think, a significant likelihood of overtime, actually, is what it feels like anyway. And you got yourselves long broadcasts. So they allotted 3 hours for this broadcast in their schedule. And it is actually not... if this were to actually go to a map 3, this would not be on schedule whatsoever. I've been casting Valorant as well, a little bit. I kind of disengage from doing any non-StarCraft 2 casting. Because I did a little bit of Valorant early last year. And a little bit of the year before, actually, too. But very rarely. The problem with a lot of esports is that it's just very difficult to actually get into games. There's no replay system. And there's no central website to like find where tournaments are happening and people who want community casters. CSGO is definitely one of the better ones. Even though this particular PlayCast has been a little borked. It's been a little messy. The general idea is that it's very easy to grab commentators. Longest top tier match, Navi and a go. 37-34. Was that relatively recently? Because I remember hearing about one that was on a it wasn't on like a main stage, was it? It was like one of the, it's like what's happening now. Like in studio, I guess. All the talent complaining. Oh, wow. We instantly had someone taken down. Xanath falls without getting much playtime at all. Feels bad, man. Margot's got the nice lineup there. It's going to get the kill. Buddy Catherine also getting one as well. Catherine and Amori combining together. Margot getting a second one straight up as well. Means that they will win this first round of OT. We finally got that admin paying attention. Again, no blame on them. They're usually doing a billion things. No, I don't think there's a really strong chance of new blood getting into CSGO as far as the prestigious tournaments go, and that's fine. I mean, you know, as someone who is part of that like prestigious tournament main lineup in StarCraft 2, there's definitely a lot of mixed feelings about the the entry of new blood, what can be seen as forced or unforced, deserving or undeserved, so on and so forth. But the difference between a lot of other esports in StarCraft 2 is that there's at least a lot of opportunities aside from the main stage that actually pay you. Shocking. So there's definitely more commentators who can say that they've dipped their toes into CSGO commentating, even made some money from it, and then usually take that experience and move on to whatever new shooter-like game they can, which is what happened with a lot of Valorant people. They're ex-CSGO commentators. Catherine picks off Polly. It seems like VPs actually find themselves very comfortable in this overtime situation. They start the second round well. I do know there's a couple of insanely talented kids getting into the commentating sphere too. It's kind of crazy, some of the talent coming in. Some scuffle along the actual bomb sites. Still ends up 3-2 in favor of VP. So bomb also goes off. The grenade actually does hit Jenny R, making things extra awkward as now she is all alone and on 12 health. Trying to do the best that she possibly can. Yep. Knows that at least one more could be coming in. And to gun her down. And there it is. There it is. Me looking the right direction there. Another point on the board for VP, who are drawing ever closer to actually winning this map. Seems the momentum gained from the actual, what do you call non-overtime? Like normal playtime? I know there's actually a word for this, and you guys are going to tell me in a second. They got momentum there, right? They brought it to the 15-15. Regulation. Thank you, guys. I knew it was some fancy term. So regulation match. They got the momentum. They brought it to the 15-15. They brought it to overtime, and now they're carrying through with it. As far as new players and new teams, there's always just the old adage, you know, like the old, you know, if you're good, you're good kind of situation. Where the casters, it's so much, there's no like, you know, score that you have a better score than others in caster, you know. Even time, it's not over or under. That's what we're going to call it from here on. This time around, however, we do have EQUIPA getting that first pick. And they did pick off Catherine as well, who's actually been playing very well. One thing I know I can do is bring up the little tab here. Actually, it's Margot who's leading the scoreboard for Team VP. Polly also just taken down, however. Some injuries to some of the Angels, but still alive and able to hold their angles. I was going to say no actual movement over into that A site. And in fact, with killing Amori, Margot, actually, hey, they can do whatever the hell they want. I was going to say they might have opened up an opportunity to go over to B, but then just suddenly everyone died. So opportunities everywhere. But the biggest opportunity is over on that B site. Mio did manage to take, I believe, 1 down before having to now take on 3. In which case she takes another one. Just running and gunning. Wasn't sure what to expect. Just hoped for the best. And is what it is. And now EQUIPA finally says that they have a round on this overtime as well. Kind of a popularity contest for casters. It's a huge mix of things. Like popularity, yes. Especially with a lot of, you know, discussion around whether or not like pure commentators are even really necessary. There's a lot of people who would argue that influencers are, you know, going to bring you more revenue. The sponsors are going to like it more than, you know, people who are commentating and, you know, have very few followers on Twitter or YouTube, whatever the hell they're looking at. There's your rapport with the other commentators. You really do have to make a concentrated effort to actually introduce yourself and try and work with those people as much as possible. Because whether you actually have the goods or not, skill-wise, if someone doesn't know you and doesn't know your co-casting style, they're understandably going to be wary of casting with you, and that's not a problem. That's not an old boys club. That's just the way it goes. And then there's so many other things we could get into. Definitely one of these topics that I'm very well acquainted with. We did a swap, didn't we? So VP coming in as terrorists, actually making a move towards A site, took down D7. And with an opening pick, could turn this into a round win. In case that anything for casters. Oh, thanks, man. Watching 2 different CSGO streams, enjoying this one more. Yes! I beat out some other loser. They're probably a super cool person. Feel bad about that. EQUIPA actually getting 2 here. So a bit of a unfortunate turnaround. Seems like that D7 early pick would do good things for the Angels. Did not. Hey, at least I'm deserving of a third of your attention, Edwin Stryker. I'll take it, man. Now everything is favoring VP, as there's only Xanath left. Ike and Catherine both injured, but so is Xanath, holding on to that sniper rifle. I'm gonna hope that they actually get a peek on someone. They do, but then there's someone real close. And they were still, I think, at the last, like, half second of reloading anyway, so unable to get to that shot off. 16 to 18, once again, VP taking, I mean, even further of a lead. They haven't lost it yet in that overtime. You actually have sound on more than 33%. There's a lot of nade spam, huh? Well, I think it's an overtime, since you have all the utility possible, then it just makes sense to do so, right? If you're more picking and choosing what you have to buy, there's a lot more consideration for, was that a good Molotov? Was that a good smoke? Was that a good flashbang? Oh, somehow we got in a third person view again. No, he just said I have his sound on. I can't see how many people have me muted. Not unless they put the little icon on, which at least 1 or 2 do. And then still hear me because I talk directly to them. No actual kills so far, just some injuries. D7 and Margot. VP 1 away now. Actually bringing this to a map number 3. Again, if they do so, then you, again, testament to the crazy scheduling that is CSGO. Because these rounds, these maps have taken at least an hour each so far, with this one still in overtime, could still go on further. And, some, waiting for the admin and getting things working has definitely been some problem for that, but... Ooh, Jenny R picking up 2. Getting revenge for her teammate. And still being alive to try and hold on to the site a little bit longer, but it is going to be a rotation over onto B by the looks of things. I don't know if VP got a really good... scouts on just how many people there are, because there's actually way more on B. They managed to pick off 1 as they entered in, but then were picked off immediately afterward, and now it is just EQUIPA being prepared for the rotation and taking VP down to not quite tie up the score, but bring themselves within another overtime. Okay, as far as first cast of a video game, it could be a lot worse things to listen to. This is gonna boost my confidence too much. Now I'm gonna be arrogant. I'm gonna be casting like Super Smash Bros. Pretending like I know what's going on. The guy kicks the guy and he jumps off, and then he does the whole thing, and then he jumps back on, and then he kicks the other guy, and well, that that's the game. Why aren't there items? Where's the items in this game? Some noxious Smash commentator ever. Catherine has once again been taken down first and foremost. VP losing 1 of their Angels. Was able to bring it back. Last time this happened, though. About the TPS reports. Hey, stapler. Nah, there's no way I'm going to be casting melee. Unfortunately, Ayeka does get traded out. So it is VP down a woman. Well, take that back. Amore finding 1 helps out. Now VP definitely the more injured party at this point. Little second on a Molotov is going to kill Mio, looks of things. Don't actually know the damage per second for that, but just a guess. The bomb actually planted, however. 3v3. Just a matter of actually winning some of these duels when you're at lesser health, make it a little bit more difficult. Now it's down to 3v2. Big EQUIPA definitely looking at bringing this to another overtime. One gets taken down, however, two of them line up, but so did VP. A bit of a lineup there on both sides. But it is EQUIPA who wins the actual war there and will bring us to another overtime. Yes! Yes! The true global offensive experience. Let's go. I'm gonna be here all freaking day. Do it again. Do it. And while we wait for the admin, because that is what we're usually doing at this point, here's the little kitty. Here's the little kitty. You ever been to my stream before? I know I'm a cat lady. It's my little kitty. He was in a much cuter position a couple of rounds ago. But he cute. They should have overtime in StarCraft 2. How would that work? I don't even begin to know. Yeah, there is no maximum. As we were discussing previously, there are some real records of overtime, amount of rounds played in a CSGO match. And they can get freaking crazy. At this point, the admins are probably now They're probably worrying while paying attention. They're like, oh god, no, a second overtime. Please, no. Never ruins all of our schedules. A little bits of chip damage going down here to start us off in our fresh overtime, where again, everyone gets to buy as much as they want. Everything for everyone. Look under your seats. Molly's for everyone. And it's just about trying to execute your strategies. VP were able to, again, bring it back to overtime to begin with, so they had a little bit of momentum on their side. We're ever so close to actually finishing off that overtime to bring us to a game number 3, but once again find themselves at the beginning of a fresh, even overtime, or anything can happen, including Jenny R getting sniped. Oh, it wasn't a sniper that killed her, but... Now we have Aika going down, though, so 4v4 as we enter onto the site. Bomb just close behind, Margot being the entry. And starting to hold off on that little door. I'm going to call it a door there. And 2v3. Catherine with the op, trying to find where... trying to predict, basically, but not able to work out. Xanath actually the one to take down both the last members of the Angels. And now it is time for EQUIPA to actually start off the overtime in the lead. A few moments later. Yes, that's 100% what can happen. We were talking about the one that happened last year. It wasn't at a LAN, so it wasn't at some big prestigious tournament where there was like a stage and like security guards, they need to go home and stuff. But it was on the offline studio, and there are definitely memes along that line being tweeted out. Catherine starting things off strong for the Angels. Unfortunately, she'd been taken out initially a couple of times in this, well, the back-to-back overtime. So able to make a mark this time around, but will it be enough? She is left only with one partner by her side and make that all by her lonesome. She knows that someone's coming in from that direction, but with 3 still left alive for EQUIPA, she had to be checking all different types of angles, and there wasn't really much to be done. I like the attempt, shoot them, change a pistol, run away. Yeah, but it's... Unless they made the huge mistake of actually running in one at a time, wasn't going to work out. So now VP are in a whole heck of a lot of trouble. They fought tooth and nail to bring this to the second overtime. They bring it to the first overtime, actually. Maybe arguably let slip the first overtime. They were in the lead and they lost out, but now's their chance to do the same thing to EQUIPA. No-scoping is so difficult in CSGO. Just completely removing the crosshair for when you do it is just... It caught me by surprise. I'm making a lot of noise. It probably got a little injured, but mostly just noise making. A little pokes ahead into the A side as they leave the bomb. little bit farther back, nice and secure. Still no decision made. Now down to a minute left for that bomb plants. And we get the changeover. Margot making the decision to actually move forward. Check out what Canals has to offer. Heading over into that B site, seeing if there perhaps is an opening. If I use this correctly. Oh, I did. Nice. Could also have the help of Amore, who does come from behind. Nicely done. A little bit through the smoke, too. Opens up the potential B site hit. Actually, no, we do have one more still left over. Polly trying to hold the line. Knows where the opponent is. Gets the kill. And is going to escape that molly. Not going to be able to find another kill, however, as she is hunted down. 4, now 3 left over, actually, from VP. Catherine just got shot by that op. D7 and Xanath both an op apiece. Now it is just Xanath against 3. Finds 1. Is able to back away. Of course, now they know where she is. And there's 6 seconds, actually, so... I mean, the bomb had to be planted. Unfortunately, it was very easy to do so with a team member by your side to help out. It's 2v1. It could still work out for Xanath. She could actually end it right here, right now, if she plays her cards right. Or more accurately, perhaps, if the Angels had played their cards wrong. They did not manage to hold on and bring it to a 19th point. And we're looking at potentially another overtime. Do it. Do it! As things get more evened up here in second overtime. Yes. This is when you change the bets over to, you know, how many overtimes are going to be? Over, under. Even without a scope and while moving. I definitely don't know all of the accuracy, specifics of the guns, but I do know, I don't know for a fact, actually. I think the Deagle is the one that actually holds on to a 100% accuracy while moving if you're crouched. That's all I know. I gotta imagine that that's going to be a huge downside to snipers if they're on scope. They should be inaccurate. Seem a bit overpowered if it was good long distance, good short distance, good mid distance. I'm pretty sure when they have a good op and you're in a ladder game, they pretty much feel overpowered, but not supposed to be. Auto snipers can spam unscoped pretty quickly. Accurately. Auto snipers can spam unscoped. I don't know why I'm trouble with that sentence. Too many N sounds, I guess. But then the scout wouldn't one-shot, right? And he's got to be a downside. Yeah. This actually, I mean, we're not going into a third overtime yet, guys. We're not waiting for the admins. I think the Angels were fixing something, probably. That's the headshot. Well, yeah, headshots, you know. Headshots are headshots. I've also learned that CSGO just directly advises you not to buy helmets if you're up against AK-47s. Valorant doesn't give you such a clear lesson. So in a weird way, the one handholdy thing that CSGO does, I guess. Otherwise, not so much. I'm finally ready to go. So as I said, VP may be fixing something. I don't think that's an official like timeout for strategy. There's definitely conversation in Valorant, actually. Someone brought up, you know, win situations, you would actually buy half armor, which I don't think really amounted to very much. But yeah, these games is definitely a situation in which you don't have to buy up all the way to full armor. And it's just almost, you know, useless to do so. Now, if you're playing with a bunch of plebs, I mean, the chance of them actually, you know, headshotting you seems kind of low, but, you know, get all the armor you want then. Professional matches, obviously, it's a bit different. We already had one go down here for VP. We're on the back foot, but they are able to trade out. Catherine finding Jenny again. I mean, Catherine does sometimes feel like a linchpin. Not all the time. I certainly haven't been tracking it that detailed, but sometimes it feels like Catherine loses immediately off the bat. She's in trouble. She gets one. Whether it's just an opening pick or actual trade, and it feels a lot better for Team VP. Not right now, however. It's up 2-4. Catherine is still alive, I guess. So if I really pin my hopes and dreams on her, then that time to put my money where my mouth is. I don't actually think so. I don't think she's had too many 2v4 wins. Might be a 1v4 here if I had to win this duel with Ayaka. Oh god, it happened! The Ada versus Ayaka duel. I was worried about this. Catherine finds one more while we're watching this potential duel happen. It is Ayaka who actually wins here. But unfortunately, Catherine was taken down. It means only Ayaka, and she is taken down. 1v2, had to be facing one way, not both ways. Not magically. She didn't become a freaking giraffe or a deer. All of a sudden with two eyes, on this either side of her head. Be a really neat feature to have in a game like CSGO, but not possible. So the Angels do find themselves on match point yet again. They were able to stop this in regulation. Words. I mean, a Hydra. Well, that's having more heads. I mean, that'd be straight up cheating. Okay. But if you can get like eyes, like a what's the opposite of a predator? Like a prey, and then, do much better. Your depth perception might be a little weird, but who needs it? A giraffe would struggle in this environment. Just like pokes its head up above that ridge right there. And I was just trying to point out that it was pretty much impossible for the Angels to win that last round, down to the wire as it was, of course. In the beginning, anyone can win. All the guns, all the utility. Good on you. But a 1v2 situation, theoretically, should always be, I suppose, improbable for the one to win. Oh, yeah, or a chameleon. Yeah, that'd be actually really awesome. Stick to the wall, too. That's a lot of smoke. A lot of smoke indeed. VP able to win duel right off the bats. Does look like EQUIPA, just, it doesn't sound right, EQUIPA. Anyways, EQUIPA was able to get that bomb planted on the backside of A. Took down 2 as well to make up for earlier. And now we're inching ever closer to actually winning this entire series. So we're back to that point. This to really hammer it home. EQUIPA already won map 1, looking to win map 2 and settle this series. However, things could still go a little awry. Amore is going to come in here and try to be the hero that the Angels need. It was right there. I could have said the Angels, but it doesn't happen anyway. And that is going to be it. BIG will win this best of 3 for the ESL Impact Season 4. GG's. We did it! We did it!